distance from the transmitter to the receiver. Shortest distance from the transmitter to the receiver. Say for example, if you are having layer like this, okay, now my transmitter is here, okay, receiver is here. If the signal is going in this way, then it is getting reflected here. This is transmitter and this is receiver. Then definitely it is with some angle theta, okay, and some angle theta. Then once if you know, then you know what is f can be greater than fc, because you know what is the critical frequency of this layer, then you know what is f can be greater than fc. Okay, then the distance between these 2 points is called the the shortest distance between the 2 points is called the skip distance. Okay, skip distance. Okay, this distance is called skip distance. Okay, generally this is like d skip. Okay, d skip distance. Okay, now when this is of d skip distance, okay, what could be the frequency? Because if you are theta, see, if you want to communicate between this point to this point, say if I am fixing theta, okay, I am fixing theta, okay, if theta is fixed, what I can calculate? Maximum usable frequency I can calculate. Maximum usable frequency is equal to fc secant theta. Okay, if my theta is fixed, if I want to communicate from year to year, my theta is fixed, because if I vary my theta, then I do not know where the signal will go. Okay, so it will go somewhere else. Now I have fixed my transmitter and receiver. Okay, when I fix my transmitter and receiver, the maximum usable frequency is fc secant theta. That means what? Here, any frequency I can use from fc2 and f maximum usable frequency. I can use any frequency. Okay, so now my frequency can be anything that is greater than fc, but it has to be less than. So my f has to be less than maximum usable frequency. F has to be less than maximum usable frequency. Now my question is, suppose if I want to decrease this distance, somebody tell me, if I want to decrease this distance, I have to, what is the angle? Angle, I have to increase or decrease? I want to decrease the D skip, because here I have mentioned as a shortest. I am trying to make still shorter. Okay, if I want to decrease D skip, what will happen, sir? Somebody, if I want to reduce D skip, theta has to be increased or decreased. Okay, so to reduce, I want to reduce D skip. Okay, to reduce D skip, if you want to reduce D skip, then definitely theta will reduce. Theta will reduce. Okay. Okay, theta will reduce. If you want to reduce D skip, theta will reduce. Okay. Already you are operating at some frequency. You are operating at some frequency. If you want to reduce D skip, definitely your theta has to be reduced. Okay, now you are trying, see, already you are operating at some frequency, sir. You are operating at some frequency in between these two. Okay, now you are trying to reduce D skip. What will happen to theta? Theta has to be reduced. Okay, to reduce D skip, theta has to be reduced. Then what will happen if you reduce theta? What will happen? MUF. MUF will reduce as per the formula. Maximum usable frequency what will reduce. Then you know, once if MUF decreases, then once if MUF decreases, you cannot. Then once if MUF decreases, you cannot satisfy this condition, because your frequency has to be less than MUF. Then MUF has to be larger. But you are reducing MUF. Once if you reduce MUF, you cannot satisfy this condition. Okay, once if you reduce maximum, once if you reduce, try to reduce theta. Okay, what is the aim, sir? Already some distance is there, D skip. Okay, now I am trying to reduce this distance. I am operating at some frequency. Okay, I am operating at some frequency. Okay, now once if I want to reduce this D skip, I have to reduce theta. Once if I reduce theta, my MUF will decrease. Once if my MUF decreases, this condition I am not satisfying. This condition I am not satisfying. Once if I am not satisfying this condition, okay, then what will happen if my frequency reduces? So what will happen to this signal? Instead of reflecting from this angle, it will reflect from some other layer. Okay, because once if I am here, once if I follow this condition, then only this layer will reflect my signal. Okay, then my signal frequency is again, I am not satisfying this relation. Once if I satisfy the relation, then only I will be here. Okay, if not, I will go to somewhere else because I do not know from which layer I am getting reflected. Because once if you are decreasing your frequency, then actually you will be get reflected by some other layer, bottom layer. Then you are not satisfying this condition. That means what? You cannot reduce your skip distance. Okay, once if you have fixed your frequency, okay, once if you fix your frequency, you are reflected by some layer. Okay, you are reflected by some layer, then you cannot reduce your skip distance. That means what? Okay, you cannot communicate. Once if you have fixed your frequency, okay, once you have fixed your frequency, and if you are communicating from here, you cannot reduce your skip distance. Okay, but you can increase this distance range, you can increase, but you cannot reduce this range, because if you want to increase, what you can do, theta has to be increased. Okay, once if you theta increases, what will happen? If theta increases, maximum usable frequency of the layer increases, then definitely this range is, this relationship will be satisfied. Then there is no problem, you can easily communicate. Okay, once what I'm telling, even if you increase your theta, nothing will happen, you can easily communicate with a longer distance, but you cannot, okay, you cannot decrease the theta. If you are decreasing the theta, then you will not satisfy this condition, because always you have to satisfy this condition. Because see, if your signal is getting reflected by some layer, means your frequency of operation has to be greater than that layer, and also less than the maximum usable frequency of that layer, that is decided by again theta also. Okay, it's a little bit tricky to understand, but even if you don't understand, no problem, just try to remember the formula, just try to remember the formula. Okay, so now I will give the statement. The frequency which makes a given distance, frequency which makes a given distance corresponds to, frequency which makes a given distance corresponds to skip distance, is the maximum usable frequency for that point, maximum usable frequency for that point, pair of point, or that for that pair of point. That means what, sir? So my frequency can be greater than fc, and it should be at least less than muf, or it can be equal to muf also, but I cannot go more than muf. Okay, then I'm not satisfying this relation, then I do not know from which layer I'm getting reflected. So frequency which makes the given distance corresponds to skip distance is the maximum usable frequency for that point. That means, what is the idea of this one? When you measure d skip, between the some point, okay, then that is then at that point your frequency of operation is the maximum usable frequency of that layer. Okay, maximum usable frequency. Okay, the next one is the transmission path, and again this is the general statement. Okay, so the transmission path is limited by skip distance, because you cannot communicate if your receiver is within the skip zone. Okay, skip zone. So transmission path is, so transmission path is limited by skip distance at one end, skip distance at one end, and curvature of the earth on the other end. But curvature of earth is related with the space wave communication. Okay, that is not related with the ionospheric communication, that is related with the space wave communication. This is like a generalized statement. Okay, by skip distance at one end and curvature of the earth on the other end, curvature of earth on other end, okay. Then sir, ionospheric communication. And again, I think we have forgot some formula. One more formula is there for cutoff frequency. I think 9 into n, or cutoff frequency of any layer, is 81. Yes sir, is it correct? Cutoff frequency is equal to 9 into n, or 81n, or fc square is equal to 81. Is it correct, sir? Somebody please tell me. cutoff frequency of the layer depends on the, where n means what, sir? Cutoff frequency is generally defined for the layer, where n means what? Distance, ionic density. Okay, n means what? Ionic density. What is the density of the ions? How many number of atoms, number of ions per cubic centimeter? Number of ion per centimeter cube, number of ions per cubic centimeter. Okay, and somebody please try to prove that per centimeter cube is giving you the frequency. Okay, per centimeter. See, once if you supply this here, you'll get some unit. Finally, you are getting here FC. FC is somewhere related with square root of n. You know what is n unit, and then you try to prove that the unit on the left hand side and right hand side is same. Is sir in the formula correct? Anybody? I hope this is the formula.
Yes, sir.
Okay, please remember this. This is very, very important exam point of view. They will ask question from this. They will give the ionic density, then simply they will ask what is the critical frequency of the layer, particular layer. They will mention the layer, they will give the ionic density. Then simply you have to find out what is the critical frequency. And again from this, it is very clear. If n increases, then definitely cutoff frequency of the layer will increase. If n increases, cutoff frequency of the layer will increase. And also one more thing is the refractive index of the layer also will increase. Refractive index of the layer also will increase. Okay. The next one is phase wave communication. Okay, so I already told you what is phase wave communication. All mobile communication, mobile, FM, satellite. So everything comes under space wave communication. So simply all line of sight communication, all line of sight. Directly there will be a direct sight between the transmitter and the receiver. And again you may have a doubt. Cell phone network la irukku enak direct paathe illa, but enak eppadi signal kedaikudhu அப்படின்ற மாதிரி உங்களுக்கு doubt வரும். That's why we have done that experiment, mobile experiment. Okay, even buildings are there. The electromagnetic signal can penetrate the building and it can reach your cell phone. Or otherwise, you can get the, instead of direct wave, you can get the reflected wave from the nearby buildings. Okay, sir, are you getting this concept? That is means line of sight. Line of sight na ungalukku tower ku direct line of sight irukonu avasiyam kediyadu. Okay, that is with help of electromagnetic wave. What I am telling, suppose for example, if some transmitter is here, okay, transmitter is here, and okay, one more building is here. I am standing here. I am standing here. Now you may think there is no line of sight. Then there may be one more bigger building here. The signal may go here and it can get reflected from here. That is also possible. Or otherwise the signal can simply penetrate this building. That also will reach you. Okay, என்ன ஐடியா புரியுதா சார்? What do you mean by line of sight communication? இது எல்லாமே line of sight communication தான். Okay, line of sight na direct பார்த்து இருக்கணும்னு அவசியம் இல்லை. Okay, even you can get the reflected signal also. Okay, but you are not using any layer, ionospheric layer or satellite or any ground. You are not using those. Okay, this is called a space wave communication, space wave communication or line of sight communication. Another name for space wave communication is line of sight communication, LOS. Okay, so signal travels in line of sight. Signal travels in line of sight. Okay, and again, this is limited by the curvature of the earth, because say if this is the earth curvature, I am using some transmitter here. If the signal goes here, and it can go up to this distance only, it cannot go beyond the distance. Okay, because it can go simply in this way. It is touching the earth surface, then it cannot go further. Even if it goes, nobody can receive this. But there is one way to receive this. If you use some antenna with the side, you can somehow you can receive this. Okay, so the line of sight distance is decided by both the transmitting antenna as well as the receiving antenna, because the line of sight distance is limited by due to the curvature of the earth. If there is no curvature, simply it can go infinite distance. Okay, if there is no curvature, simply it can go to the infinite distance. So line of sight is limited by generally by the curvature of the earth. Line of sight distance limited by curvature of the earth. Curvature of the earth. Okay, so in general, line of sight in a eye without any glass, without any zooming, if you see with your eye, ordinary eye, the line of sight is for I, because you are not using any transmitter or receiver. Please imagine that only you are there in the surface of the earth. There is no building, nothing is there. It's completely free space. Then if it is like that, maximum you can see up to 50 kilometer. Maximum you can see up to 50 kilometer. Because after that, due to the curvature of the earth, you cannot see, because earth is in a curvature shape. That means you are feeling the curvature of the earth after 50 kilometer, then you cannot see. Okay, so in general that is 50 kilometer. But our FM signal FM signal will go to longer distance, because for FM and all we are using both the transmitter as well as the receiver. Once if you use transmitter and receiver, your line of sight will be still greater than 50 kilometer. So line of sight, to measure line of sight between line of sight case, when you use transmitter and receiver, that is simply 4 square root of HT plus HR. Finally, you will get answer in kilometer, but HT, HR, you have to substitute in meter. Okay, most possibly they will give you in meter only, because antenna height will be mentioned in terms of meter. Simply you have to substitute here. Finally, your answer will be in terms of kilometer. Okay, you have to write this unit, kilometer. You will not get 10 power 3 and all. Whatever the answer comes, simply you have to write kilometer. That is the concept of this one. Okay, so for example, you take, say for example, transmitting antenna is in some building. Say for example, it is at some building, it's around 250 meter. Okay, 250 meter. Then your receiving antenna maybe in your hand, it's something around 5 meter. Then you can know, once if you plug in this value, then you know what is the line of sight distance. Okay, so the line of sight distance can be increased either by the transmitter or by the receiver or by both. இதுதான் வந்து இதனுடைய கான்செப்ட். Okay, because this concept only we are using in FM, sir, FM communication. So FM communication, we are using this concept. Olden daysல பார்த்திருப்பீங்க, suppose இங்க சென்னையில இருந்து ப்ரோக்ராம் டெலிகாஸ்ட் பண்றாங்கன்னா very easily nearby people can get the signal. Suppose ஒரு பர்சன் வந்து இங்க இருக்கிறாரு லாங்கர் டிஸ்டன்ஸ்ல, சப்போஸ் சேலத்துல இருக்காருன்னு வச்சுங்களேன், மேபி அவரு கூட சிக்னல் வர சான்ஸ் இருக்கு. But what he has to do, he has to use very high antenna. That's why olden daysலாம் பாத்தீங்கன்னா, once if you use some antenna, you will get the FM signal. Okay, antenna இல்லனா FM வராது. Okay, antenna means what? Simple wire. Okay, if you use a open wire, that may act as an antenna. Okay, then you will get the FM signal. அதுதான் வந்து நம்ம olden daysல FM கேக்குறதுலாம் யூஸ் பண்ணிருந்தாங்க. Okay, and again even the FM signal will go maximum up to around 70 to 30. Again, the range of FM, what is the range of commercial FM? In general, the range of FM in general is something around from 70 kilometer to 100 kilometer maximum. Okay, for good reception of the signal, the range is around 70 kilometer to 100 kilometer. The range may be extended, but the clarity will not be good. Okay, audio clarity may not be good. Okay, so this is in general the range of FM. So once then what you can do with one FM, you can cover the radius of up to 72 or 100 kilometer. Then definitely for other areas, you have to use other operators. Okay, say for example, if around Chennai I am using one F1 frequency, the same frequency I can use in Madurai also, because it will not affect, because it cannot travel more than 100 kilometer. The same frequency I can use in Tirunelveli also. That's why if you have seen in reality, the same frequency 93.5 they will use everywhere around Tamil Nadu. Okay, so that's the idea of the frequency reuse in case of FM, frequency reuse in case of FM. Okay, so frequency reuse possible in space wave communication. Again, in some space wave communication, not all. So in some space wave communication, frequency reuse is possible. Example, what are all the example? What is the best example for frequency reuse? Anybody?
Mobile, sir.
Yes, very good. Mobile is the best example for frequency reuse. And the next one is FM. Okay, mobile is best example, because mobile communication itself operating on the principle of frequency reuse. Okay, so next one is line of sight propagation. Line of sight propagation, Friis formula. Friis formula, already we have discussed it in the communication, so I will go very quickly. Say I am having one transmitting antenna and again another antenna. This is my transmitted power. Please imagine this PT is power transmitted, total power transmitted in terms of watts. Okay, in different place we are using different notation. Now this is the total power transmitted in terms of watts. This is the gain of the antenna GT. This is the gain of the receiving antenna GR. This is the power received, total power received by the receiver. And again we are using the directional antenna. We are using the directional antenna. Okay, when I am using some power PT, if I am transmitting the power simply PT, what is the power density? The power density is simply PT divided by 4 pi r square. In general, the power density is PT divided by 4 pi r square. But I am not using the isotropic antenna because for isotropic antenna, this is true. This is the power density. But I am going to measure everything here in the directional nature. I am using the practical antenna. That's why my power density will be I by the factor of GT. You know that. Okay, so whenever you are having isotropic radiator, you will have some power density. If you use practical antenna, then your power density will be I. That will be I by the factor of GT. So PT GT divided by EI R square. So this PT GT is also called as effectively radiated, effective isotropically radiated power. Okay, this PT GT can also be written as EIRP, effectively isotropically radiated power. Okay, then I know what is the power density here because I know what is the distance. The distance between these two is R. Once if this is R, then I know what is the power density here. Once if I know the power density, if I know the aperture area of this receiving antenna, then I can multiply, then I can get the received power. I can get the received power. Then before that, you know what is the receiving antenna gain. Okay, receiving antenna gain can be written as 4 pi AE divided by lambda square. Okay, or otherwise AE is equal to what? AE is equal to gain of the receiving antenna divided by 4 pi into lambda square. Okay, whenever you get the aperture area, this is always related with the receiving antenna. Always aperture area is always related with the receiving antenna. Okay, so then what is the power received at the receiver? The power received at the receiver, PR. Okay, PR is equal to what is the power density at that point? What is the effective aperture area of the receiving antenna? What is the power density? Effective power density PT GT divided by 4 pi r square. 4 pi r square. And again AE I can replace with G divided by 4 pi. G divided by 4 pi lambda square. Okay, once if you make the adjustment here, and again this is related with the receiving antenna. Once if you make the adjustment PT GT GR divided by 4 pi r by lambda whole square, you'll get this. Once if you make the adjustments, you'll get this. Okay, PT GT GR divided by 4 pi r by lambda whole square. Now I can write this. This is like a received power. This is like a received power. Okay, from this received power, it's very clear. If I increase transmit power, received power will increase. If I increase gain of the antennas, definitely received power will increase. But if I increase R distance, then received power will decrease. But if I increase wavelength, received power increase. But if I increase frequency, received power will decrease. So எல்லாமே direct, it's very clear. But the tricky part here is received frequency is inversely, okay, lambda is equal to C by F, inversely proportional to frequency. When you increase the frequency, the received power will decrease. That means loss is more. When frequency is more, that indicates loss is more. Okay, loss is more. And also I can write this in terms of dBs. I can write the entire equation in terms of dB. Once if I write power received in dB is equal to PT in dB plus GT in dB. Sometime in the exam they'll get EIRP in dB also they can give. That's also okay because PT plus GT is like a EIRP in dB. Okay, then GR in dB. Okay, everything is plus plus. This is contribution term. Okay, this is like a loss term. Okay, the denominator term. So 4 log 4 pi r by lambda whole square. Okay, then simply I can say what is the loss? What is the loss? The loss is equal to simply already I have mentioned as a loss. So once again I should not put minus here. Okay, already I am mentioning as a loss. Okay, so simply 20 log 4 pi r by lambda, 4 pi r by lambda, or you can also use 10 log. Okay, so if it is 20 log here, I cannot Yeah, there is no square if it is 20 log. Okay, if it is 10, I can use square there, 4 pi r by lambda whole square. Both are okay. So this is the relation between the transmitted power, received power, distance between the antennas, and the frequency of operation. Okay, this is the relations for wave propagation between the transmitter and the receiver. Okay, so with this I will stop. We'll continue on tomorrow. Is that doubt, Kada? Is there
Sir,
சொல்லுங்க சார்.